People with disabilities have faced inequality for centuries.
It's frustrating. Even my closest friends don't even think about this.
To know that there's somebody else in the trenches grinding every day, it's invaluable.
People assume that I'm a sweet little girl who has nice dreams. Watch me kill that assumption. So I have used a wheelchair my whole life. I was born with a type of muscular dystrophy, which basically means that I have muscle weakness. And for me, what it's done is it's kind of built up a sense of resilience. I am Mayan Ziv. I am the founder of Access Now. The first week of my master's program, a couple of the classmates and I, we went out for a drink. It's like, okay, let's go. And I was like, wait, guys, is it accessible? And that's the question that I ask literally every day whenever I go anywhere. No one had an answer. Why the fuck isn't there an app for this? There's apps for everything. You could literally search, how much the beer is going to be that night. If there's specials, if there's any, amazing, reviews, you can find out anything about that place. You can't find out if it's accessible. And it's, such a simple question. So it's that's it. I gotta do something about this. And so it wasn't I went in being I'm going to create an app that's going to hopefully change the world. It was this is a problem in my life. Wow, there's millions of other people that could benefit from what I'm trying to build here. And that alone has been enough to keep me going. It's I have to do this. I have to do this. And so I am. Access Now is a mobile app that uses crowdsourcing to collect and share accessibility information. Basically, anything that you would consider an accessibility feature is what we are sharing information about. And the mission is to be able to share enough information so that wherever you are and whatever it is that you want to do, you can find an accessible way to do it. Each pin is a location. So basically, when you click on a place, you can find out what about that place would be accessible. And this way, if I'm searching accessible restaurant and I'm in Kensington, then maybe I find this place and then I go there because now I know.
Before Access Now came along, I think we all had our own internal map. I could tell you off the top of my head where I could find a washroom within a square kilometer in downtown Toronto, but sometimes you have to go that far.
So if I only want to see accessible places with accessible washrooms, now when I go back to the map, it's going to filter those out, and all of a sudden things look really different. Now we only have 3 pins.
Hey, when people think about accessibility, they're like, you know what, the library's accessible, the schools, the hospitals, they're accessible, but what about the places where you just want to have fun with your friends? Let's go to a bar, let's go to a club, let's go to a concert, let's go to a strip club, if that's your thing. As you can see, there's 5 steps. Mayan and I don't have the capability of going up steps because you see, wheels do not work that way. But that's science.
Clearly, Andre's quite emotionally distraught. So great. Well, there's a platform for that.
Awesome.
People with disabilities have faced a lot of inequality for a very long time. There's been barriers for centuries. And there's been a certain kind of repetitive approach to how we're going to solve those problems. By the nature of creating a conversation and by just literally doing it and succeeding and excelling, I think there's a lot you can do without fighting, without pushing against. I don't think that that's as productive as working with people or finding a sense of humor, which I think brings people together.
To know that there's somebody else in the trenches working away at it, grinding every day, it's invaluable. Accessibility is traditionally associated with an institutional tone, and we want to move away from that. Accessibility can be sexy, and it can
Obviously.
and it can be fun. It needs to be fun, because if it's not, then we won't see the engagement that we need to see. With a different tone, we're able to inspire people to be a part of what we've started.
As long as we just decide to section off a specific group and say that these people are other, then we're never going to come to any kind of inclusion. My mission with Access Now is to create a community and a vision that people get that. I'm a regular young person who's interested in going out and doing things in life, and so is every other person who has a disability.